A very interesting question I've been trying to figure out for years is why is occult stuff always hidden? And why do other occultists perpetuate this habit of hiding stuff? I have found out. It's finally clicked. Why? It's the same thing that removed books from the Bible. It's the same thing that destroyed all the origins of what we get the poetic Eddas from in Norse mythology. It's the same things that have destroyed books. It's the same things disguising themselves as people. And yes, it has been people that have destroyed these things. But it's the things motivating them and basically deluding them and convincing them to destroy things. The same things that have been trying to silence me. And the same things that made me destroy my book and Babe's book of all of our bind spells. And that's why all these philosophers and historical figures even have been persecuted and killed. And similarly, mystics, witches, whatever, soothsayers, another reason why they've been condemned. There's something very old, some things very old and powerful that use life, and particularly humanity, as like guinea pigs. We are basically a simulation to them, and they just feed off of us. They also feed off of our suffering, our life force, and turning us against each other and causing destruction vicariously through us. I don't really have to even elaborate on what those things are, but what I have learned in the last 6 years is that all of these things are related, and they're all being caused by the same things. And I didn't figure this all out until he let me catch him. And in all honesty, part of me thinks that he did let me catch him. But a part of me knows that I did catch him. And maybe it's because he knew that he was going to be able to convince me to let him go, which is what he did. And another thing he doesn't want me to tell anybody, Beelzebub is Jesus Christ. The second coming of Christ was supposed to be not Beelzebub, but a new demon, or brother of his, emerging, possessing a pregnant person, and then taking on the life of the child. Which is exactly what happened with Mary and Jesus. And I was really scared for a moment to even kind of talk about this, but I've been reassured by Golvig that I'm protected and that I am supposed to talk about this, and that part of the reason why I started getting spiritually attacked, besides obviously not having a lack of faith and being, spiritually compromised back then, was one of the reasons, but they love to attack people like that all the time. They could have done that to me a long time ago. Why did they do it to me then? It's because I started reading occult novel books on YouTube. Yeah. And it all stemmed from my interest in herbalism and natural healing and medicine. And when I started reading a theology book on how Babylonian mystics used the same herbs that were used for flu, were used for exorcisms. And once I started dabbling into that a little bit, and then I started getting to like more like mythology and theology and stuff, that's when I started to have paranormal problems. Because I was starting to unravel their bullshit. I was starting to share things and eventually bring attention to myself about the things they don't want people to know about. Yes, Nino. Very funny. It's interesting. I'm gonna go.